The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway. Looking up into the lights, and he muffs it. And this will get out of bounds. No worries there, though. That still goes as a touchback. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
10. 5-9, 5-9. 10.
Herbert to throw right away. That's complete. It's Ladd McConkey. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 25 yards that time.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
Set. Ready.
Now the first carry here for the running back. He finds some way to turn this into positive yardage as he struggles forward for a pickup of about 2. 2nd down and 8.
Set.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. He'll buy some time right. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on 2nd down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for it first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. A good pickup there, a 22. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Set.
Herbert. Flushed out right. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Marcus Epps able to take him down. It's a loss of 3. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Here's Herbert. That one completes a McConkey. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on. Just looking out from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got to key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
Well, that was a long, sustained opening drive, but in the end, only able to get 3, the field goal out of it.
And absolutely, you'll take the points and the early leads. You never give those back. But there will be a little bit of disappointment that they didn't punch it in for 6 after that kind of yardage and that kind of drive that they had.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. And the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Open man downfield is Hill. And he's going to be out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. It's a big play there for Miami. 44 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
32 Stinger.
They'll run. Here's Devon Achane. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. So they go pass, now they go run, and 2 plays resulting in really nice pickups.
Certainly sounds like a 50-50 deal, doesn't it? Sounds like great balance. Well, you know what all those coaches have told us over the years, Brandon, that balance is? It means doing what you want to when you want to. That play calling is working very well for them right now.
They'll run. Achane. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
You know, when this offense gets down here near the end zone, they're going to turn to their bell cow, and this guy's been a touchdown machine all year. Excellent job stopping him there on first down.
Achane here. They stay on the ground. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Devon Achane, his 12th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead.
Sometimes you get a first and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line, and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on first down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And they dipped a game below 500 following the loss last week. And you get the sense that maybe this team's at a little bit of a crossroads here.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it, because what's that old malaprop? If you come to a fork in the road, take it. Because this group, they're losing ground fast. They've got to start winning some ball games. And the good teams, they're starting to separate themselves, and these guys are being left behind.
This short throw caught by Goddard. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 3rd and 3. Here's Herbert. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
Ready.
Now Achane on 1st and 10. And he's taken down inside the 30. 41 yards rushing for him now, and he's only carried the ball 4 times. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
On 1st down, back to Achane. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. The Dolphins at 7-2 here on the year. They were losers last time out, but winners of 7 of 9 prior to that.
And the key for them, as I see it, tightening things up on defense, because the offense did its part. They played well, but defensively, way too many lapses and big plays allowed. That ultimately doomed them in their last ball game.
Go ahead.
From the 21, here's 2nd down and 2. Again, it's Achane. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Sam Williams bringing him down that time.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
They work now on 2nd and 9.
Go ahead.
A give left side. Here's Achane. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Devon Achane, his 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year, as his guys are able to extend their lead. So 2 drives, 2 touchdowns here in this first quarter, and he's got both of them.
Well, he's certainly setting himself up for a big game here, and I think if the play caller doesn't get in his own way, they should keep riding him the entire way of this game. Until the defense proves they can stop him, that's what I would call.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
On the move to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Charger football to start quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Short throw to Disley, and he stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt, and it'll be Dolphin football. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. So for this offense, Charles, remember drive 1 made it to the end zone. Drive 2 resulted in a touchdown as well. Now they'll try to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, and you know, they told us all.
He's got a man complete. Now he's into the clear again. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Devon Achane on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead is up to 18 now. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Partner, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all his receivers downfield.
Herbert now. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Run. Set. Go.
Justin Herbert looking to pass. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
A nice chunk play from the tight end position, and it illustrates the cohesiveness that he and his quarterback have. Both saw the extra defender doubling him up, and they still combined for the completion and big gain.
Herbert has it knocked free. And this is picked up. Look at this. Middle of the field. A breakaway. And this is brought all the way back. A fumble recovery and taken to the house for a Miami touchdown. Well, Charles, not only did they fumble the football, but they're starting to fumble away their chances here a little bit. We've got a 3-score ball game now here in the first half.
And the last thing you want to do, partner, is help the other team with what are avoidable turnovers. You want to hang on to the football because you're already playing against a good team. You're just making it easier for them by giving them extra opportunities.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Charger drive about to get going.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do we do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that, that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go, but you've got to take care of the football in order to win it.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. From the 38 now. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Ready.
Now it's Herbert. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Sanders now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The Charger drive about to get going. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play.
That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, L.A. Lad McConkey, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Chargers are able to cut into that deficit. And there, Charles, he lined up out left, ran the post, caught it over the middle, and the rest, as they say, is history.
And you have to love the scheme that they just showed there, because if you're going to run a deep post, You ordinarily have...
On Herbert, his third interception.
It's interesting that when it comes to two-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. Oh, a good return up past the 30. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
All right, come on.
A run straight ahead with Achane. And just not a whole lot here to be had on the ground. Maybe a yard. Second down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a second down and 9.
Jeff. East right, snug. Connor, long. That.
Looking to pass. Tua. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Good work on the scamper by Tagovailoa. It's a first down.
Come on, 2. Ready. Out.
Running left, Achane. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. 83 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Ready.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL.
Right.
They'll run on first down with Wright. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
They're right here. Out.
They'll go again here with Wright. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. But now he appears to be in some pain. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Ready, set. Out, set.
And they'll give this to Achane. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Deion Henley there on the tackle.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Second and 5.
Get on.
This is Ford. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Sanders' kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback. And we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half. Now a 2nd and 10.
Set. Go.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. He's going to let this one go deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Trying to get something positive to happen here before the break, and they sure need it. They went for the big one, but it winds up incomplete.
Back to throw here, Herbert. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
39 yards on the punt, give him just 1 yard on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And with only 9 seconds remaining, with not much time, we'll see how they play this. That's to the sideline, and it's intercepted. And the Chargers are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And he nearly broke that for more, but as... Still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, they score here. This one, it's pretty much out of reach.
We honestly might already be at that point, partner, because this team, they were dominant in the first half, continue to be dominant now, and I think they're viewing this as a put-away drive on their way to a lopsided victory. Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Here's Tua. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
Ready.
They dial a running play here with Hill. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, not a big gain with that play, but what they're doing is they're spreading the defense out, probing a little bit, and what they're hoping probably is that later in the game, they can create a matchup that they can exploit for big yardage later.
From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd down at 7.
Hey. Set.
Play action, now it's Tua. And that is incomplete. Nearly intercepted. The free safety couldn't quite get his hands around it, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great effort there. 42 yards. And the Dolphins have taken a 5-touchdown lead. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going.
Set.
Throwing to start the drive. Herbert. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. They'll roll him out right. He'll dump this off complete to Dobbins. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Well, they only needed a small gain on 3rd down. They end up getting over 30 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Again, Herbert. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Herbert. On Herbert, his 3rd interception. Picked up by Devin Witherspoon. And the Dolphins force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Thankfully for the offense, a fortuitous bounce there on the fumble goes out of bounds, because they're down here in the red zone. You don't want to lose one there.
You don't want to lose one, and the best part, because it went out of bounds, they retain possession, still have an opportunity to put points on the board.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I'd keep going back to him.
Ready. Turbo 1. Get on.
Up the middle, Achane. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Ready, set.
They'll run for it with Achane. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead. Well, the only silver lining on the other sideline, CD, is that they kept him out of the end zone, but still, that's another 3 points added on to this large lead.
Yeah, no shortage of scoring or big plays on defense in this one. And even up by 4 possessions, still finding ways to create opportunities and capitalize with points.
And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
In every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
Set. Set.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Now they needed 2, they could only get 1. 4th down. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They'll try and run for it. And he's not going to get there. Might have even lost a yard. He only needed a yard, but he couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Go ahead.
They run with Ford. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. A Miami 1st down, that one going for a gain of 11. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
A give, running right, Achane. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 142 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
44. Ready. Hey, time about 2. Time about 2. Time about 2.
On the handoff, it's Achane. And he loses the football a 2nd time. And picked up by the Chargers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Do you remember in preseason we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and, you know, guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble.
Home trips right.
Now Herbert following the turnover. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Devin Witherspoon. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense. And certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Charger drive about to get going. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for. A really good change of pace back.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. They'll get it up near midfield to the 49 before being taken down.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
This a 2nd and 8.
Set. Grenade. Grenade. Go.
Looking to throw. Herbert. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Takes this to the 45. Got a little space after that nice move. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves, that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 33. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Ready.
Back to throw. Herbert. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Isaiah Foskey make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And that will be incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They snap it to Herbert. That's to his running back, complete. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The 4th down play doesn't work for the Chargers. And the Dolphins' defense is able to hold. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2. If they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
They will start this drive with 4. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Running right, here's Achane. And he'll get this one up to the 26. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Still needing 10 yards. Now it's 3rd down. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. Well, at this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy. He wasn't really big on that. He was big on go ahead and scoring. He's kind of reincarnated right here. We're watching it in front of us.
It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. Out of the gun, Herbert. Open man, right side is his running back. It's complete downfield. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Herbert and the Chargers staying put. They'll line up and go for 2.
Ready. Set.
They'll look to throw. And he will get into the end zone as the deficit moves from really bad to slightly less than really bad. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
This is Achane. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Here's 2nd and 10. A run now from Achane. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Well, partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere, where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly,